Welcome to the Friday Casebook. We are going to look at the latest events in the world thanks to Roger Casale, the founder of the civil rights organization New Europeans. So Roger, let me know what grabbed your attention recently.
One piece of good news, Lena, is that Donald Trump no longer wants a piece of Greenland. Sorry to mention Donald Trump, but you remember when he was president, he said he wanted to have Greenland. Apparently, he said he doesn't want Greenland anymore. It doesn't matter, you might say, because he's not the president. Although I think another time we need to look at the Donald Trump comeback. He hasn't gone away. So just a reminder there for our viewers. We'll have a special feature on Donald Trump, I think, another time. He doesn't want Greenland, but the EU does, it seems, or at least they are today launching an EU Arctic policy. The EU is on its way to the North Pole. We know that the North Pole is very rich in resources. The EU wants to have its fair share of access, so it wants a seat at the table, as it were, when it comes to the North Pole. But that is interesting because, you know, the North Pole may not always be the North Pole. In fact, the North Pole may one day end up being the South Pole. Why do I say the North Pole will be the South Pole? Because there is a phenomenon known as reversion. It happens very rarely. In fact, the last time it happened was 780,000 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Where there is a kind of reverse polarity, and the flow of the magnetic forces in the Earth turn the other way. But geologists have noticed, Lena, in the South Atlantic, that there is something called a reverse flux patch. Readings have shown that there are some strange things going on beneath the Earth's surface. I don't know whether this is going to be a sort of preamble to a reversion of the magnetic flow between North and South, but the EU does have a rather slow-moving bureaucracy sometimes. I'm glad that the EU's on its way to the North Pole. I just hope that it gets there before the North Pole becomes the South Pole. For our viewers, we will put some information about reversion, North Pole, South Pole, polarity, reversion in the chat.
So what else caught your eye?
Well, a very sad issue that, of course, is with us all the time is the death of migrants and refugees. We've seen that in the Mediterranean Sea, Lena, and some of those deaths continue. But as you know, recently there have been deaths on the Polish-Belarus border, and not only there, but there's also problems on the Lithuanian border with Belarus and the Latvian border with Belarus. And this is down to our friend, in inverted commas, Lukashenko, Europe's last dictator. Let's remember Belarus is not a member of the Council of Europe because it still has the death penalty in Belarus. And it seems that Lukashenko has been weaponizing COVID. He has been putting political prisoners in danger of catching COVID. He rounds up, you know, his men in black balaclavas, round up protesters from the streets, put them in prison, and then apparently deliberately expose them to coronavirus and to COVID. So what a nice guy Mr. Lukashenko is. I think he has to come off our Christmas card list this year. And we had a meeting, New Europeans had a meeting on Monday to look at the situation of journalists in Belarus. In fact, all the independent and free journalists in Belarus are now outside Belarus. Andrei Bastinets, the chair of the Belarus Association of Journalists, has in fact himself caught corona. I don't think he was sent corona by Lukashenko. He's just caught it, unfortunately. But we support Andrei Bastinets, we wish him well, and we had a meeting with the European Federation of Journalists and with the Medell Association of Judges and with European Civic Forum to show solidarity with the journalists in exile in Belarus, because one of the signs of a wannabe dictator is that you want to shut down any independent sources of power, and therefore all the free journalists really are either in prison in Belarus now or being put outside or in exile. And I just say to our viewers, please support the journalists, the free journalists and the independent journalists of Belarus, the Belarus Association of Journalists. We will put more information about that in the chat of this video.
Apart from Lukashenko, is there someone else on the naughty step?
Well, Mimmo Lucano is on the naughty step. Mimmo Lucano was the heroic mayor of a small town in Italy called Riace, who opened up his town in Calabria to refugees, made it a model of integration and reception for refugees. You remember when Salvini was the interior minister of Italy, he was very anti any kind of opening up towards migrants and refugees, shut down the work that Mimmo Lucano was doing, and there's been a court case. And Mimmo Lucano, although Salvini is no longer the interior minister, the magistrates have sentenced Mimmo Lucano to 13 years of in prison, which is very, very severe. A number of Italian MPs, including our good friend Massimo Ungaro, who is always very supportive of the work of New Europeans and others, Pietro Bartolo, who is a member of the European Parliament and a former doctor who helped refugees in Lampedusa, and many others, and also Enrico Letta, the former Italian Prime Minister, have all expressed concern about what has happened with Mimmo Lucano, because we don't think Mimmo Lucano belongs on the naughty step. We believe he belongs in the Valhalla of heroes for the fine example he set of being open to integration of migrants and refugees.
Was there also a bright spot the recent weeks, maybe the last week?
Yeah, for me there was, Lena. The EU has issued the first EU green bonds. This is borrowing at the European level that all the member states sign up to. This was a major innovation that came out of the recovery plan and also the new EU Green Deal. The first bonds have been issued this week. They've been oversubscribed 11 times, more planned. And I think that for all the sort of day-to-day headlines that we see, let's remember that the EU has doubled its budget compared to last year, introduced new borrowing instruments such as the EU bonds, and is funding a green recovery. And so thank goodness that we are in the European Union.
What's coming up?
We have the relaunch of our Reflections on the Future of Europe series. The first event is on Europe. In the new series is called Europe in an Age of Risk. We have Jan Jurumski giving a talk this evening on biopolitics. If you don't know what biopolitics is, tune into Jan's talk and find out. Very, very interesting discussion this evening at the University of Groningen, which will be, as usual, live streamed from New Europeans News Facebook site and also available to our members through our newsletter. So please sign up for the New Europeans newsletter. You'll find all the details in the chat.
Wonderful. Thank you, Roger. And you all, please join in, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and yeah, watch our next Friday Casebook is coming up soon. Bye.
Thanks, everybody, and see you next time.